coming out of the old hairpin.
Oh, no!
JC's going to send it? You better use. Oh, look at the Aston, just with the nice little battle here. Carrying huge speed through the crater curve.
Aston runs wide and he's in the grass.
Oh, there's a bit of contact.
Oh, almost side by side through there. Hello everyone and welcome to Season 5, Round 1 of the Pro-Am Division. This is RaceOnOz. My name is Nick and I am joined once again by Nige Guns. Nige, my man, how are you going tonight?
Good, dude. How about yourself?
I'm good.
Excellent.
I'm excited for this one. We kicked off the season for the pro drivers last week. Which was a lot of fun around here at Misano. So looking to go again with the Pro-Am boys. So very excited for this one. We had a cracking race last week and let's see if these boys can replicate what we saw in the Pro Series. So let's get into it, right? It is officially the new season. So it's going to be a 5-round season this season. So we're going to start off here in Misano. We're going to duck over to Budapest in Hungary next round, which will be at the Hungaroring. It's going to be a wet round, so that's going to be interesting around that circuit. Very tight and twisty. It's Monaco without the yachts is what they refer to it as. Then we're off to Port Ricard in the south of France. That's going to be the sprint round. So the sprint round last season was at Snetterden. It was a cracking round, so we'll see what we have in store for that. Then we're going to go to Kyalami, the undulating particulars of that circuit. Very free-flowing. Some cool corner names in there. Crocodile, Mineshaft, Barbecue. I like it. And then we are going to finish off at Bathurst. It's going to be the Enduro around Mount Panorama. So we might even get there before the real boys get there, the way things are going at the moment. But that is going to be our season. So 5 rounds down from 10 rounds or whatever it was last season. We're kind of back to normal. We'll be all finished before Christmas. Let's have a quick look at some new additions. So there's some things that we're going to add to the league this season. So we've put our collective heads together. JJ, Nige, myself, Andrali, Kamangu, a few others as well. One of the things we came up with was MVP. So this has already started. So last week, it's a 3-2-1 system. So depending on what code of football you follow, it's either the Dally M or the Brownlow. But it's going to be 3 votes, 2 votes, 1 vote given every week to drivers, and we are going to announce that at the end of the season. So I'm going to hold you all in suspense for 10 weeks, and we're going to have an awards night where we will name the MVP. However, we are going to name someone different every week, though. It's going to be the driver of the day. So driver of the day, whoever accumulates the most driver of the day across all the divisions, will be the driver of the series. So those awards will be given every week, and we've got driver of the day from last week as well for the pro drivers. We're also going to have rookie of the year as well. So we always want to promote new people into the league, people that might not have sim raced before either, and just give them an opportunity to shine a little bit as well. So we'll be having the rookie of the year as well. And then this one, this is open to everyone. This is my favorite overtake of the season. So how this is going to work, record your footage. And if you think your overtake is good, submit it. We're going to work out where they're going to submit it actually first. But you submit it, and then Kamangu and Andrali, they're going to do their magic. And we're going to have an overtake of the season highlights package at the end of the season. And someone will be awarded with the first ever overtake of the season. So stay tuned. It started already. We're going to work out all the particulars. Well, Nigel's probably going to do that. I'll just sit back and take all the glory. But that's how it's going to work. So that's some new features for this season. Nige, what do you think? It's pretty exciting stuff. And put your thoughts in the chat as well. It looks like I think Lukey is given it the tick of approval as well. What are you thinking, Nige?
Yep. three big thumbs up. It's all definitely going in the right direction. Just to confirm for the boys, we're going to get a channel on the Discord as the dumping ground for the overtake replays to be submitted. But ProAm Season 5, we've got a bunch of guys in this division who did really well last year, probably cut their teeth and learned all about how to get it done. And it's going to be closer. The likes of Stu and Footnar, they've been kicked out. They're racing in Pro. So it's going to be a lot closer at the front. And there's definitely some boys who have found some pace in the off-season. Car changes, new girlfriends, all sorts of things are happening, dude. We're in for a ripper.
Yeah, it's going to be super close. And just having a quick scan of the times at the moment, it's 8 tenths cover the top 10 at the moment. So extremely tight. And yeah, guys like Cameron Footnut, he is up in the Pro Series. So is Stu. So it's opened up the door for a few of the new guys as well. Hagman is back, to everyone's delight. Welcome. Also, everyone in the chat as well. So see Cam Footnut, Burradog, HSV is in there as well. Saber's in there. Lukey is in there as well. So big hello to all of you. Hope you're all doing well and enjoy the stream tonight. So let's announce our first new addition, if you like, for the season. So we are going to, Vic Chance just dropped in. Howdy, Vic. We are going to announce our first winner of the driver of the day. So this is for last week's race, which was the Pro Series. And this driver, the driver of the day is given by the commentators. And so Nigel and myself, we came to agreement. It wasn't one person overrides the other. So the reason we gave it to this man is he started P11. He finished in P7. So the driver of the day isn't necessarily the guy who wins or gets on the podium, but we feel that put in a really, really good, solid effort and deserves to be to give him credit for it. So the big reveal is, I don't have a drum roll track, but anyway, it's Burradog. So congratulations to Burra. I think I saw him in the chat. Yeah, I don't know if I saw him in the chat. There, he's in the chat. So
there he is.
Yeah,
the dog's in the house.
Yeah, so congratulations to Burradog. It's Adman's son's. His name's Lenny. It's his favourite driver. And yeah, big congratulations to him last week. Myself and Nige, we thought that just his effort, he had some really good racecraft in there as well. And yeah, we thought that he deserved the inaugural RaceOnOz driver of the day. So what do you win? Here you ask. You get the privilege of, we give you some airtime now, just to bring up your stats in RaceOnOz. So you can see 19 starts, 2 pole positions. That's not a bad conversion. He's yet to get off the mark for the wins, but he has had 1 second. He's had 3 fifths, and he's had 8 top 5 finishes. So Burradog's a name that we regularly see up towards the pointy end of the field. So a massive, massive congratulations to the Gamesman Racing Team driver Burradog, the inaugural winner of Driver of the Day. Did you have any thoughts around that, Nige?
Yeah, mate, it's a feel-good story. It's awesome for Burra. Fledgling captain of the GRT squad last season. He's taken it over with Riggsy, and they've been working really well together. And of course, Burra is stepping up to Pro. Spent most of his time prior to that running Pro-Am, so to just such a solid result. Yeah, it's awesome to see.
Well, it really means a lot to him. He's tearing up, apparently. So congratulations, Burra. Wipe those tears away, because we don't want you to get teary-eyed while you're watching. So we are at Misano, so let's have a quick look at the track. Now, from my recollection, in my very short time with RaceOnOz, this is the first time I've ever seen a Jag competing. So we're going for a quick lap now with Psycho Agency. He's going to be racing the Jag tonight. So you see him making his way down to turn 4, which is Rio. So the right-hander, so short shifting will be pretty imperative up through here as he's about to make his way through turn 6. So you don't want to run too wide there. You've got the sausage curbs that will will undo your lap in a big hurry. So he makes his way through turn 7. So turn 8 is Quercia. So this one here, just want to follow that, just that dark rubber patch in. Nice line through there. And then it's going to be the nice run up into Butapella, which is the sort of, it's like a double left-hander. So taking a nice line through there for Tremanto, which is turn 10. So once again, just keeping it nice and smooth on the throttle, minimising any wheel spin, a little bit of short shifting as he moves his way up through the gear. So over 230 kilometres as he makes his way around turn 11. Now, really tricky part of the circuit here is the 12, 13, 14 complex of turns. This is 14 here, which is Caro. And this is going to lead into the left-hander of Misano. So right towards the end of the lap here is just about to come through. Last week, we saw a 1:33.2 was the pole position time from Slambo in the Bentley, as we see Psycho just finish his lap now. Nice work from him, the first Pro-Am hot lap driver. But that's a lap around Misano. So, yeah, should be interesting. And, yeah, we haven't seen a Jag driver sort of very regularly. All right. What are your thoughts on the circuit, Nige? We saw it last week. What do you think these boys need to look out for tonight?
Those big sausages, as always. The boys have really been paying attention to the driving lines over the last week with the pro boys, and some of the entries. If you open up the corner as much as you can, wide as possible on entry, and obviously using all the track on exit, and of course that leads to the danger zone of track limits. So 3 warnings and you're out, or in rather, for a drive through. So it's going to be interesting. You want to really just build up to a rhythm, and all these boys will know where the track limits are, so hopefully they can keep a bit of control of the red mist. But this is going to be really good tonight, because it is a very good racing track, because it's nice and wide, and we've got a lot of guys in contention.
Yeah, it is a pretty wide circuit actually. So yeah, good for overtaking, and we saw some really good racing last week as well. So I think these boys are going to be in for put on a good show for us this evening. All right, so another new little addition to the broadcast. Let's talk about fuel. Let's talk about pit stops. Let's talk about how many litres per lap you're going to use. So we can see here, we've got every car on there. So I thought. The one car that I don't have is the Jag. The one car that's going to be racing tonight that I didn't know was going to be in there is the Jag. But I've got everyone else. So just having a look here at how many litres per lap a lot of these drivers are going to be using. So we've got Bentleys in there, obviously. They're not. They're probably one of the least thirsty cars in there. The Ferrari, you can see 2.49 litres per lap. So we've got 3 of them in there tonight. We do have a few Lamborghinis, 4 in fact, in the Pro-Am series tonight. I don't know how long that will last for the entire season, but 2.65 litres per lap as well. So when we're talking about strategy, we can sort of refer to this as well. On the Mercedes, we've got one Mercedes in the field, but it's really the Bentleys and especially the McLarens as well. They're I think they are the least thirsty cars, 2.41 laps. So they've got pretty good economy on the Maccas. So that's looking like they're going to sort of put them in good stead. Now, last week, Paul Ince, I think it was, he asked me, how long's the pit lane? Which got me to thinking, that's a really good question. I'd like to know myself. So what we did is, obviously people will be putting in different litres of fuel coming in, and we're about a minute away from getting this one started. So a pit stop with a 1 litre splash and dash, because that's a pretty common thing that people do. So that will cost you 65 seconds. All right, so that's from entry to approaching a pit box to stopping to exiting, 1 minute and 5 seconds. Hang on, I'll get to you in a second, Vic Chan, because you're pointing out that it's incorrect. I will correct you in a moment. So, pit stop with tyres. It's 1 minute 30. Okay, so it's an extra 25 seconds. We saw drivers last week take tyres as well. So that just gives you an idea. 65 to 90 seconds is the difference between going for the fuel with one lap or doing the tyres as well, and obviously depending on how much fuel you're going to put in there. Now, just a caveat on those as well. Those rates were based on an aggressive setup, just the base aggressive setup with those cars. So I didn't do any laps in them. I didn't sort of do any custom setups. It was just the basic aggressive setup. So I should have had that written in there, but I don't, and so we can discuss that at a later time. Here we go. So we are about to get this one all started.
What was Vic's beef?
He said my times were wrong. Vic, you're just killing me here, mate.
Send it back.
Yeah.
Send it back.
I should have run it past him, actually.
I should have got him to do it.
Yeah.
This is what you're all aiming for, boys.
So Rinzy is in the Lexus this season. You can't do the custom livery on the Lexus, so that's why he's got the game livery, if you like.
Yeah, pressure's going to be on him 2 weeks from tonight to win at Hungaroring in the wet.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. So, all right, so let's get into this. Who topped practice? That is a good question. Who did top practice, Nige?
It was the Hagman, dude.
It was the Hagman. There you go.
It.
So, all right, we can, yeah.
So the track is still on far, so all these boys, or I'd say all of them, probably got their setups tweaked for optimum track conditions, which is normally what we expect with this many boys running around the track. But it's quite cool. Track temperature is only 14 degrees, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who can get their pressures up nice and quick. I'm on board with the Hagman right at the moment, and it looks like everybody is heading out on track, except for the 499, which is Fly. He's just going to wait, give himself a bit of space. Either that, or he's just had to make a pit stop of a different kind.
Possibly. All right, let's have a look at Riggsy as he goes around. So he's going to be the first driver that sets a time for us. I like this livery, actually. It's quite nice. It's a bit refreshing, isn't it, to have the game liveries, if you like. I know that we do custom here. It's nice to see something different every now and then. But we'll go through the different drivers in different teams, and we've got plenty of nice liveries out there as well. 19 in the lobby, Nige, so another really strong result after we saw about 20 last week, and looks like Rigsy's just going to pull out of that for now. So we might duck over to Andrelli. We'll see if he's going in the Gamesman Racing Team Ferrari.
Yep, Andrelli was one of the 10 drivers who had very good pace in the practice session prior to quali, and we all know how good Andrelli can be consistent over race distance, so he's definitely going to be aiming for the podium tonight. Yep. I'd say a lot of these boys are really going to have their hearts set on the podium, and then that's why qualifying around here is really important. It is difficult to overtake, so quali, it's an important part of the process. So nervous time for these boys. Obviously, a lot of them are on their first flyer. We'll see how good the pressures are.
Yeah, so we'll see if Andrelli sets a time here as he comes around through the final turn. And we have a big announcement to make, Nige. A monumental announcement for Ruse as Andrelli. He doesn't set a time. What about Sparky God? So one of the rookies here in Pro-Am, not a rookie in the league for ICR. I'm loving that livery as well. He goes to the top of the times, a 1:36.4. So nice time from him. And Pesky, what can he do in the P&L Bentley? Across the line. What about Mr. N. Wilson? He's in a Lamborghini this year, so he's kept on theme with Italy. He was in a Ferrari last season. He's in a Lamborghini this season. We're seeing some time starting to filter in now. Angry old fella. He's about to cross the line. And then Bounty in the ICR orange Mercedes. He goes P1 with a 1:35.1. So that performance is... we've got Bounty's done the new website, so we've got to give that a plug very, very shortly. As Andy makes his way across the line, he might just be starting a lap. And then Jono Stan. Has anyone seen Jono Stan's avatar on PlayStation? It's hilarious. It's a golfer in honor of the golf league that's been set up, Nige, with Ruse. It's GOOZ, I do believe.
Yeah, this is it's going to be fantastic. So, if you're an armchair fan of Ruse, but you're not driving, but you love golf and you want to check it out, one of the games, 2K21, was actually free on PlayStation. So Jono jumped on it, and as of Thursday, we'll be kicking off with Ruse Goose golf tournaments.
Well, I'm going to have a crack at it as well. I'm going to try and get some practice in shortly, but yeah, should be fun. It's interesting to see what sort of games spark people's interest, isn't it? Amongst those free games. I remember last year Farming Simulator was quite popular. I got pretty addicted to that for quite a while. Helped me get through lockdown, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So just while we've got a little break in the action, it's a big thank you. But it's not a thank you to you or myself, Nige. But it's a massive thank you to all our supporters. So last week, we achieved a monumental target. We hit more than 100 subscribers. So absolutely to every single one of you who have subscribed, thank you. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. We are doing our best to grow the channel. I know JJ is doing a lot in the background. I know that Nige is, Kamangu, Andrali, I'm chipping in here and there as well. But we appreciate every single one of you who have subscribed, all 100 plus of you. Now, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, I just want to know one reason. Why not? Why haven't you subscribed yet? We've got some great stuff on here. There's... Fly gets it all sorts of out of shape at the final turn, hits those sausage curbs, and he's gone into the wall. So, as Molly Meldrum used to say, and I reckon there's people old enough on here, do yourself a favour.
Do yourself a favour.
Do yourself a favour and go and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. There's lots of content on the channel. It's only going to get better. And there's bloody some awesome racing on here as well. So, all right, that's enough talking about other stuff other than the racing. At the moment, Andrali, a 1:34.2 is on pole position. Bounty, he's in P3 as we see him on the screen. What else do we have out there? Jono Stan, he's back in the Lamborghini. It's time for Gamesman Racing Team.
The Game and Racing Team.
No, Gamesman. I said Gamesman. Gamesman Racing Team.
That'll get you a few subscriptions.
Don't put words in my mouth, Nige. And he goes P16, so he's got a little bit of work to do there. He might have been practicing too much golf. But this is Sparky God for ICR. So can you tell us anything about Sparky God, Nige?
Sparky God, the Daz Master. It's awesome to have him on the ICR team. I've raced with Sparky before, and it's a great guy to have involved in the series and the league. And his bro Tuddy is racing in M1 tonight. So,
all right.
Yeah, it's actually great to have those boys. Sparky ran around M1 last season and probably was more on a pace of Pro-Am, so he's one of the boys making the step up tonight who's got decent pace.
Yep.
And if he's starting P10, he'll be delighted with that.
All right, we'll keep an eye out for him. So we see Shamrock, he moves up into P11. What about Cheese Noodles? He's down there in P17. He's making the move up from AM1, I believe. Nige, am I correct with that? Or no?
Cheesy? No.
No. All right.
No. Cheesy's one of the boys. He'll be flying the flag for PNL.
Yep.
We are down one driver tonight. SAR only has 3 drivers on the grid, unfortunately. So I think that was a knock-on from Cart Dude being stuck in transit, quarantine, vaccination, and cargo. So, yeah, unfortunately there was a knock-on there this week.
Okay. All right, Andrali, he's coming across the line now, 134.290. He doesn't better that time. Now, there was a driver out there tonight, Nige. We were talking about earlier. He's got the bits and pieces rig tonight. Who was that? I can't remember who we were talking about.
The Metal Man. Yeah,
yes.
Metal's had big wheel issues in the off season, and my latest understanding was he's put together a hybrid package of older parts just to get him through until the new Fanatec gear turns up, and obviously delays with shipping and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So we're just lucky to have him on the grid tonight.
All right, so he's got a bit of a Frankenstein rig out there tonight.
Yeah.
And we've got another newcomer to the league. We'll just see where Bounty can put that ICR Mercedes. Who said ETS HSV? See, it doesn't mind the ICR liveries. Now, Pat 65, Nige, I'm putting you under the pump here. I'm asking you a lot of questions without warning. Do we know much about Pat? Yeah, do we know much about Pat?
Pat the legend, yeah, man, he's been around the block a few times. So he's a BHR boy. He's a humble chappy. He likes to play himself down, but yeah, we'll just see exactly how much pace he can extract out of the Bentley.
Yeah.
And Pat will be there at the end. Yeah.
All right. See, this is why I said, everyone, last week, Nige, I asked him a question. He always knows the answer. He's my encyclopedia. And, yeah, it's on you right there. All right, we have just under 3.5 minutes remaining. It is Andrali still on top at 134.2. Pesky, Angry Old Fella, Bounty, Gaza, Haggis, Psycho, Metal Steel, Riggsy, and Mr. N. Wilson rounding out the top 10. The only driver on the circuit that is yet to set a time is this man on the screen. That's Kamangu, the man who does that lovely video that we see every week. Where does he filter out? P17. So he's still got a little bit of time to improve his position before we get qualifying all sorted out. But the clock is ticking though, and it's only going to get louder and more intense as we come closer to the end. And we're going to get ready for 60 minutes of Misano. This is Season 5, Round 1, Race on Oz. Hope you're all enjoying the stream. Hope you're doing well as well. We're depending on your state. If you're enjoying the taste of freedom, or if you're like me in Victoria, we are very, very close. A matter of hours away, really, 72 odd hours, and we'll be out of it as well, and back to some semblance of normalcy. So we'll all be better for it, I think. All right, Andrali going around again. Can he improve his time? No, he doesn't. All right, what are your thoughts so far, Nige? What are you thinking?
I'm a bit surprised. Like, that's a cracking lap from Andrali. I'm a bit surprised that no one else is closer than 4.5 tenths. Pesky's the next best. PNL's 2 and 3 with Pesky and Angry at the moment. I'd say there's a few guys that are feeling the pressure of having to really perform and get their ultimate lap speed out. But there's still a couple of minutes left. A few boys on a hot lap at the moment. And Hagman's just nailed the last corner. Let's see what that does to his time.
All right, in the meantime, P3. There we go.
He's going in the right direction. Yep, last chance saloon for these boys now.
Yeah, we're about to approach the final 60 seconds. So a lot of these drivers, once they cross the line, that will be it for them. One of them is Pat 65. So the legend as described by Nige. He's down there in P16. We'll see if he can improve on that time. Don't think he did. Is it 255? It is 250. He's Angry Old Fella. So he's moved himself up into a nice position for P&L. He's in P4 right now. So his second row of the grid. And that is where he's going to remain for now. We've got about 30 seconds left. What about Riggsy in the Lexus? He's currently P11. He's the second off the pace. And he's going to stay down there in P11 for now. But we've got T-minus 15 seconds and counting. Just trying to pick up. He's coming up the back there. 465. Where are you? There you are, Aaron. So, he's off. All right, no good. All right, let's get back to the Hagman. So this is last chance saloon for him. Clock has gone 000. So we are. He's gone off again at the last turn. Almost the last turn. He's gone off at Misano. He's gone into the wall. So that's session over for him. Gaza. He's up in P7 right now, making his way around. What can he do? He's going to come into the pits. What about John O'Stan? He's getting a bit loose and he's taken out the brake marker. He's run wide over the sausage curbs. He's down there in P19. And that is where he is going to stay for this one. So that will be his starting position. What about Pat? One of the last few drivers out there. So this is the last chance for him. Does he improve? No, he does. He goes to P14. So nice work there from Pat. I was looking for 555. No, that's in the pits. What are we doing? There we go. Angry old fella. He's done. I think that's the session done, Nige. I think
it is. Yep.
Everyone's come in and Andrelli's just missed the pits. That's easy to do. This pit lane is a bit tricky to get into. But anyway, as long as he doesn't do that in the race, he has taken out the round one pole position. Congratulations to Andrali. Pesky is second, and Haggis, the Hagman, is up there in P3. Give us your thoughts, Nige, on the session.
That is a cracking effort from Andrelli. The boys at GRT will be stoked. They have added more points to the board. And, 2 from 2 for the GRT boys.
Yes.
So that's fantastic. And it's a huge gap. 4.5 tenths to Pesky, a couple of more tenths back to Hagman, and then it starts getting close. I think the time's going to be a lot closer in the race. But, kudos to Andrelli. Nothing quite like putting it on pole. So that's awesome for him.
Yeah, great work from him. I think that might be his first pole position for a little while. So we'll see if we can get some stats on that. But pretty close amongst everyone. But massive congratulations to him. I'm just writing this grid down. Give me 2 seconds and then we'll go through it. Shamrock, cheese noodles. Here we got Andy and Jono. So let's quickly go through the grid. So it's Andrali, Pesky, Haggis, and Angry Oldfella. That's your top 4, first 2 rows. Then we got Fly, Mr. N. Wilson, Bounty, Gaza, Psycho, and Metal. That is your top 10. Then you got Riggsy, Kamangu, Aaron, Pat, Sparky, Shamrock, Cheese Noodles, Andy, and Jono Stan rounds out the top 19. But don't count that man out because we know that he's a bit of an arrive and drive kind of fella. He does his best work in the race. All right, let's just have a quick look at what's been going on in the chat. So we've got a fair bit going on. So Vic Chan's in there, Cameron Footner. HSV very enamoured with the ICR liveries. Finds them quite attractive. Bruce is in there cheering on Gamesman Racing Team. We have Baradog, who's cheering on Andrali as well. Slambo's in there. So last week's race winner from the Gamesman Racing Team, Bentley. It was a dominating performance from him last week. Cameron Footnut just cheering on a good qualifying effort from Mr. N. Wilson. He'd be happy with that. P6.
Yeah, he got that lap right at the end of the session too. So this is looking good for Mr. Wilson. Yeah,
he's receiving a bit of support in there. Stuart Barkley is cheering him on as well. Baradog is just discussing pole position times. We've got JJ Penguin in there as well, Joe Mahoney. So big welcome
back
to
him.
Work. Yeah,
work, lad.
yeah. Why you? Yeah, he's.
That means he's got our stream up whilst they're doing M1.
Yeah, he's multitasking. Stuart Barkley there as well. Is Psycho in the Jag? Yes, he is, Bruce. He is in the Jag. I've not seen that before. Very peculiar, but he usually likes to drive an Audi. So, all right, we are 10 seconds away from getting this one started. And yeah, we'll watch him go around. Okay, so
This is going to be good. That I'm just in chopper cam as the cars are pulling away from the grid. That Mclaren, the SAR Mclaren, that looks beautiful from the chopper cam. But all these teams, all these liveries, they do look splendiferous. So this is, yeah, these boys will be very, very nervous. So a lot of boys are in contention for their first win in the league. I know Andrelli's done it before, but that would have been in M1. I think that was Zolder way back when. So that's even before your time, Nick.
yes.
But yeah, obviously it's an hour-long race, 2 pit stops to make, compulsory for fuel. It is 50-50 whether you take tyres or not. You obviously want to have car pace and have the confidence on fresh tyres because you'll lose track position. But you can make up time, but it is a gamble. We know how difficult it is to get past on this track, so a nice clean start for all these boys is what they're after.
Yeah, well, we had a decent start last week. It was probably a little bit untidy when they decided to grid up, but yeah, I don't think we'll see a repeat of that tonight. So it is Andrelli. He's going to lead them away. He's in a new car tonight, so usually it's the Audi is his weapon of choice. But yeah, obviously moved across to the Ferrari this season, so we'll see how he goes in that. He's enjoying it so far. He's put it on pole position. Yeah, looking very good right now. So, all right, we are not far away from getting this one started. Looks like it's a bit of an untidy grid at the moment by the usual high standards that we see.
Yeah, they're going to be really concentrating on the brakes and just trying to get the pressures up as much as see, accelerate, brake. They're probably only just now starting to get the call to go double file. Good looking grid for PNL, ICR, a couple of cars up the front. Looking strong for BHR. Yeah, this is going to be good.
Evening to Mitchell Weston, otherwise known as Wheezy Weston. Did a 9-hour enduro, I think.
Yeah,
on the weekend. Let us know how you went, Wheezy. So, I don't know. I'm not trying to set you up or anything here. I'd let us know how you went on the old PC. So I think you did it with JJ and someone else. So let us know while we get this one underway as they come around the final turn. So once Klaus gives us the green, we are going to get this one underway. Looks nice and tidy. There we go. These boys have got it all sorted this week. There it is. 60 minutes of Misano. Let's go racing. Looks like Andrelli got a really good start there. Pesky side by side with him. Looked like the Hagman was in there. So was Bounty. Let's just quickly get to it now. So it looks like everyone's... Oh, no, we've got a collision. It's the Hagman, and it looks like Fly in the Mclaren. So they've both made contact there just as they've come through the first 2 turns. So not a great start for either of those drivers there. Looks like Mr. N. Wilson, he's moved his way up, possibly. The timing screen is doing its little thing at the moment. So we'll just call it off what we see on the screen. But it looks like it's Andrelli who managed to get away from Pesky. And it's Angry Old Fella's Bounty in P4. And Mr. N. Wilson, he's already managed to move himself up 1 position. And looks like we managed to get everyone away relatively well. Metal Steel, though. Where did he start? Not down the bottom. He's not had a great start. He started in P10. He's drifted all the way down to last position in P19. So He's obviously had a bit of an incident there at the start, but it looks like everyone else has managed to get away nice and smoothly, and it's going to be Andrali who leads the pack away, which I have to say, he's already started to spread out a bit, Nige. We've had some early race dramas. What did you see?
Yeah, there was actually an issue at the very back of the field before they even got to the control line. So we'll definitely have to have a look at the replays and find out exactly what went on. But definitely Hagman and Metal were the big losers. So thankfully Bounty had a good start. Oh,
yep.
And already an early stopper. Here we go.
Oh, who have we got stopping? This is
Mangu.
Interesting. Okay, all right. So Kamangu's decided to drop it into the pits.
Yeah,
so
Metal's in as well.
All right. So Metal obviously started P10 there, drifted all the way back to the rear of the field. Had some issues, so that makes sense for him just to. Oh, that is angry old fella using all of the curbs. Very risky going over those sausage curbs there. Gets the car a bit unsettled, but no harm, no foul on that one. But this is the battle for the lead right now. It's Pesky versus Andrali. Can the Ferrari keep the hard-charging Bentley behind him? We've seen how strong the Bentleys have been last season, and last season they started off with a victory as well. So it's going to be a fair effort for the Ferrari drivers to keep him behind. But he's got a Mercedes there just to keep him company. And as we can see, there's been a bit of a gap formed, almost sort of two individual packs. Mr. N. Wilson there sort of all by himself, but that other group started to bunch up a little bit, which includes this man on screen, Hagman. You can see the cosmetic damage that was on his car there from his little early incident at the beginning of this one, but plenty of time to make his way back up through the field, see if he can get a strong finishing position. Back to the front here. So here's Pesky tucked right under the rear wing of that Ferrari. Dare say he's going to want to try and get past in a bit of a hurry. Go on board. Here we go. So he's right behind him. So not lacking for any pace at all in that Bentley. And Andrali's going to have his hands full trying to keep this big yellow and red Bentley behind him. Keeping away from the sausage curbs there. It's hard braking. Oh, so Andrali goes a little bit defensive there. We saw the another epic battle between Jamie and Vic Chan last week, and we saw some interesting lines going through there, some defensive driving, and looks like Andrali might have been getting some tips from those drivers during the week, because he took something similar there. He's doing a good job keeping that Bentley behind him right now.
Yeah, and the cars are going to feel very different with a high fuel load, and it's going to be very interesting to see if some of these guys, like Pesky's all over Andrali through the Fast King. That's 250 clicks an hour through there. Oh, that might have even just been a very, very light love tap, but no harm, no foul. Carry on. This is fantastic. Yeah, the front three and then Bounty and then the next five are super close, so this is exactly what we expected.
Yeah, well, the qualifying was super close, and it's proven to be the exact same result on the circuit, at least for these top three. Bounty's just dropped back a little bit off this trio, and then you got Mr. N. Wilson there as well, followed by a few of those others coming up behind them. So we'll keep an eye on this battle at the front, though. This is what we want to see, racing for the lead. It's Andrali leading from Pesky. This is the battle from the lead. Saw the short shift there. We had a little break almost in the middle of the corner, so might have just got it a little bit wrong there. Does it open up the door for Pesky to slip through? He's going to have to go around the outside. Nice defensive driving from Andrali there. Placed his car perfectly. So if you're going to get past, I'm going to make you go around the long way.
Yeah, exactly. He's just got to weather the storm until he gets into a rhythm, because we're only 5.5 minutes in, and we know how strong the Bentley is around here. So he's got track position. He knows what he needs to do. It's just eyes forward. Trust that you've done all the work.
Yeah, it's having that belief, isn't it? Even when you come under pressure. to put it all together. So he's doing a good job of it so far, though. And Pesky will want to watch out for his teammate there in the other P&L Bentley. That's Angry Old Fella. We've seen him have plenty of form and pace. And, yeah, we've obviously seen the Bentleys really strong cars generally overall in this game as well. So that's the visual gap, if you like.
Yeah, this is intense.
Yeah.
Because like they trust themselves that they want track position on track. They don't want to come in. Don't want to compromise their strategy by having to come in early. So this is Angry. Wow, they're all a little bit loose. I mean, of the three of them, Andrelli looks like he's the most settled, but he's probably want to find a little bit more pace, and he's gone a little deep. So that's going to open it up for Pesky. He's going to have to close the door in the right-hander onto the back straight.
Oh, here we go.
Pesky's going to go around the outside, opening up the line. Angry's got a tight line, so yeah, these boys are on for an hour-long race for sure.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens here if Pesky decides to maybe sort of play it safe and say, well, I'm not going to get past him. I might just take this opportunity to duck out of the dirty air and take my pit stop and try and work the strategy out that way. Or
it's definitely a viable tactic. You always stand the chance of coming out behind traffic from an early stop. So that's why these boys are putting the pressure on. They want to get into clean air, and Pesky's looking good.
Yeah. Well, the field is relatively spread, so that could be something that we see. Let's just have a quick look at the Hagman. He's tucked in behind Gazza in that BHR Ferrari. So they're battling it away. They're down in there in P7 and P6. So Gaz is P6, Haggis is P7. He's chasing the Ferrari.
Yeah, so Hagman's obviously got to pass Riggsy, and those boys have a history.
Here we go. Yeah.
Yep.
So it looked like Andrali
already.
Yeah, Andrali just got a little bit untidy there coming out of turn 4, and that was enough opportunity for Pesky just to get the run, build the momentum, and slip past there at turn 8. So, Andrali's going to be able to fight back though. So just
Pesky went deep.
Oh, they're going to go side by side here. So this is not over by any stretch of the imagination. But it looks like Pesky might have been able to get it done. He has. So he's taken the lead. Nice driving there from both of those guys. So it looked like, Andrali just got it a little bit untidy coming out of turn 6. So it's an easy spot to make that mistake, and that's cost him the lead. Right. Oh, he closes nice and hard under brakes. Just having a look at the Hagman, he was less than 2/10 behind, trying to just flick between the action here. These are the two closest battles, and there we go. They've both pitted. Both the P&L drivers have decided to pit Nige.
Wow.
That's a really interesting call from those two.
That'll be music to Andrelli's ears. So he's just lost the lead. Now he's got it straight back, and now he's got a bit of space to Bounty. Yeah, that surprises me for the P&L boys. Pitting 10 minutes in, wow.
It's a little bit odd. We saw P&L guys pit early last week. Ty Morgo, Eaglewind, he had damage early on though, so he had to pit. But yeah, they kind of go the early pit stop. It's been a bit of a P&L trait recently, so not too sure if that's the sort of prescribed game plan, but nonetheless, they've both decided to pit. They're still in there by the looks of it. Yeah, Pesky's going.
Yeah, so Pesky's but I don't think that was 30 seconds, so I've got no idea what happened to Pesky, and it even seemed to be quite a long stop for Angry, so I'm a bit surprised by that, but
we've got Shamrock.
As I said, that could be perfect for Andrelli. Sorry, dude.
Sorry, we've got Shamrock coming in there as well, so he's making his stop.
Yep.
So we'll see where Angry and Pesky end up filtering out. Looks like P9 and P10 at this stage. I believe just trying to find out on the track there, but timing screen's telling us Pesky's dropped all the way down to P14.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, so 416. Oh, that's still, yep, Shamrock's still in there as well. All right, so had quite a few drivers already make their first stop. So Angry, Sparky, Fly, Aaron, Pesky, Kamangu, Pat, Metal Steel, and Shamrock have all made their first stop. So just over almost half the field. We've lost one as well, Nige. We're down to 18 drivers. We'll work out who we're missing in a moment. This is Hagman versus Gaza. This is ICR versus BHR.
Yeah, he is lining up these green machines. Hagman's really got good pace in the Bentley, so these green boys, they'll be doing their best to hold on. Is he going to send it?
Ooh,
lining it up.
Thought about it, yeah. Looks like we've lost Cheese Noodles.
Yeah, okay.
Looks like the driver that we've lost. So, unfortunate for him. Here goes Haggis trying to go around the outside there. That's just through. Oh, no, they've both gone around. It was a synchronized spin between both of them. Oh, no. And then that's Gaza. He's almost turned it around again as he was getting back up and going. But Haggis has dropped a spot to Psycho in that Jag, the sole Jaguar in the field. So I'm sure Andrali will love putting that together for the highlights package this week. If you haven't checked it out, it is on the YouTube channel as well. Over 100 subscribers. That looks like it was Shamrock in the Selby Acoustics Ferrari as well, who'd done himself a bit of a mischief too. So got a few drivers making some early race mistakes, but they're all back up and running. So it's still Andrali leading it from Bounty, Mr. N. Wilson, Psycho, Haggis, Gaza, Andy, Jono Stan. Look at Jono Stan from P19 to P8. I said it. I said he does all his best work in the race. That's what he's doing right now. Riggsy up in P9, and this man here, Angry Old Fella, who we saw make the early pit stop. Both P&L boys stopping early. So he's dropped down into P10. His teammate Pesky is down in P14, and his Angry's just lining up Riggsy here in that Lexus up the front straight as we're about to very close to quarter race distance already. Nige, we're almost 15 minutes into it.
Yep, it's going to go quick with this amount of action going on, so it hasn't really worked out for those PNL boys with that early stop. Angry's caught up behind Riggsy, and Pesky is all over the back of Aaron through Sector 1. It's a gorgeous looking McLaren. I'm probably going to keep saying that, but it looks fantastic.
So we'll talk about Jono Stan. Burrow Dog is taking credit for the setup that he sent him through. So let me hit it. Hey, you're getting a setup from Driver of the Day, the first ever Rouge Driver of the Day. That's got to put you somewhere. As Angry having a look at Riggsy, who's keeping him behind.
So 36 flat from Jono in the Lambo. And I'm just starting to work my way through the times. It's really Andrelli and Bounty. Andrelli's probably going to have the best time. So Andrelli with a 35.745, his PB. And last lap by was a 35.9. So if you're lapping in the 35s, you've got good pace tonight.
All right, so some fast time starting to come through, and Angry is able to take the position from Riggsy. So he move up there into P9. Ooh, might have got a little bit sort of squirrely off the final turn there. Don't know if that's going to open up the opportunity for Riggsy or not. Don't think it is. So Angry's going to take that position after the early pit stop. He moves his way back into P9. His teammate though, Pesky, who pitted early with him, he's not so fortunate. He's down in P13, so he's just taken Aaron. He's in the Mclaren this season. He was in the Bentley last season for Selby Acoustics, so he's another driver who's changed cars this season. He was quite competitive in Season 4 as well, so not having the best of starts, but we're only a quarter way through the first race of the season, so he's got a little bit of work to do, and sure, he'll definitely be able to come back. All right, so the field has spread out a fair bit. Like I said, we've had the quarter-way mark, and we have exactly 9 drivers who have already pitted, and we're just waiting for the other 8 there to... 9 drivers. 9 drivers have pitted. 9 drivers have not pitted. One of those who's coming in now is this man here, Psycho. Oh, he has hit something or someone extremely hard in that Jag. So that was not healthy looking at all. Look at that. That's a lot of damage. So he's going to be in there for a fair while. Looks like he might have overshot his mark there too. So he's going to be in the pits for a little bit now. That's not done his race any wonders at all. So the Jaguar driver, he was down there in P7, but that's not where he's going to come out, unfortunately. So... Alright, so the field is, relatively spread out, probably closest on-track battle, Riggsy and Angry, but we saw them swap positions earlier on. Well, this might give us an opportunity, Nige. We might have a look at how the race leader is doing it. Let's jump on board with Andrali for a lap. We'll stop talking, and you can just listen to the nice tones of that brilliant Ferrari engine. So we go for a lap around Misano. So we saw him make a little mistake there out of the final, out of Misano, out of 15, but he was able to gather that up pretty quickly. So that was a lap of the Misano circuit with our race leader, Andrali. He is currently P1. He's 5.1 seconds ahead of Bounty, who's followed by Mr. N. Wilson. And then the Hagman, who's just about to come into the pits. We can see him in there now. So he's pitting in from P5. So he's got a few drivers behind him. Just seeing Sparky Guide will definitely get him. So will Pesky One. So the Hagman's probably going to drop out around about P12, I would say. And Jono Stan is making his first stop as well for the Gamesman Racing team in that Ferrari. So he's making his stop. And the Hagman, he's off. So he's out of here. We looked at pit stop times, 1 minute and 5 seconds for a 1 lap splash, 1 litre splash and dash. No tyre change will cost you 65 seconds. If you're changing the tyres, it will cost you about 90 seconds roughly. So it's a bit of a strange pit lane, this one too. You've got to go kind of the long way around, and then you can take the pit lane limiter off, and away he goes.
Yeah, it's the best part of a lap, isn't it? If you're going to take tyres, and it's deceptive because it's a shorter track and a very, very long pit lane. So that onboard lap, Nick, with Andrelli was a 35.76. It was 200ths off his PB.
Wow.
And he's just under 35.8. So he is looking very, very consistent. But Hagman obviously started lighter on fuel. His best lap is a 34.5.
Wow.
So the Hagman really has the pace. It's a shame he got caught up in that bit of a biff through the first sector on lap 1, but his pace is very good. And we'll see what happens 38 minutes, 32 seconds from now.
Yeah, so just while you're checking lap times, guys, we've got HSV in the chat saying Sparky's race pace is incredible. Are you able to check what times he's doing? He's currently P8 right now in that Lamborghini. He's 2.3 seconds behind Riggsy, and he's made his stop. He's one of the highest runners that have stopped already. The one who's the highest, though, is Angry Old Fella up in P6. But if you could get some of Sparky's times, that would be interesting to see.
Yep, so last lap by was a 37.0 for Sparky.
Okay.
I'm not too sure how long ago his stop was. He may have just been building the pressures again, but 35.5 is his best. So there's quite a few guys who they have that sort of mid 35 lap time as their benchmark, and that if you can do an hour's worth of lap times like that, you're going to be in a good position at the end. But yeah, this is looking really good for Sparky. So he's now P2 of all the boys who have stopped. Angry's a couple of positions ahead of him and 5 seconds further up the track.
Yeah. All right, so that's some good insight, Nige. Good work. You're doing some detective work there as well. But thank you for keeping us informed with the times as well. So, but yeah, driver to keep an eye on. Angry Old Fella up there, P6. He's made his stop. His teammate who came in with him, Pesky One, he's in P10 right now. So that will be interesting to track their progress. But they both came in at the same time. Pesky was in there for a lot longer than Angry was, though. He dropped all the way down to P14, in fact. So he's made up 4 spots already. So yeah, he's looking good. We'll keep an eye on both those P&L drivers. The early strategy call might be the right one tonight. We've got 36.5 minutes though left for it all to play out.
So Angry last lap by was a 36.5, but his best is a 35.4. He's obviously the best placed of all the boys who have stopped so far. Angry was stationary for about 10 seconds, so he definitely took fuel on board, but I got a feeling Pesky and Haggis might have actually run quite a bit lighter and had to take some more fuel. There's a good chance that the Hagman got the damage, any damage he incurred on lap 1 as well, but there you go. So it's closing up. In that midfield, it is closing up.
Yeah, well, it's pretty spread out right now, so there's not a lot of action on the track. Pesky and Fly, they're about the 2 closest cars, so we'll keep them on the screen for now. Metal Steel as well. He's a couple of cars behind us. We see Hagman in the background there, but Pesky starting to close in on Fly. It's only a second the difference. You'll be able to see the visual gap between them. That Mclaren with the Selby acoustics, it's very eye-catching, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it really is gorgeous. Really draws the eye, and Pesky has got it in his gun sights. So we'll see what happens in this next stage of the race. And this is impressive that 25 minutes gone, and we've got, 6 guys who haven't even thought about making a pit stop yet. So they are going deep into the race, and if any of them have started with 70 or 80 litres on board, they will be in very good nick.
Right, so Pesky starting to close up on the back of that McLaren of Flight. Was he in a Ferrari last season? I believe he was, even in a different teams, Gamesman Racing Team. If I'm correct. So he's swapped teams and cars. Oh, Pesky launching an attack here. Just work it out as he goes. Trying to get it up the inside there of turn 10 through Tremanto. He's going to get
We're
the
going to
run.
find out
Here we
how
go.
much wing they've got on their car.
Side by side through here. Have a look at this. Still going side by side, and he's not enough. So Fly's able to looked a little bit more slippery up the front, up that little short straight there, didn't it, Nige?
Yeah, it sure did. But Fly did a really good job. He was on the outside line, so he always had the much better entry, and Pesky playing the odds and just backing out of it. He knows he's a little bit quicker, but he just needs to time his run to make the move, and Riggsy's in for his first stop.
Alright, so where are you, Riggsy? We'll keep an eye on that. There he is. He's making the stop. He's stationary now. And this battle will resume between Pesky and Fly. We'll just quickly keep an eye on this. I don't want to miss any overtakes. But the other one to keep an eye on is Kamangu. But I have to say, this has been some really good driving from Fly, but driving from Pesky as well, but he really pressured him that last lap, similar to in a similar part of the circuit we're about to approach now. So let's see, is it going to be take two? Is Pesky going to have the same approach here? Or is Fly perhaps learnt his lesson and going to be able to do something different? Just keep the Bentley behind him. He definitely doesn't have as good a run as he had last lap. So Pesky's able to maintain that gap. For that Selby Acoustics Racing Mclaren. Down there in P8. Let's just have a quick look at Pat. He's all over the back of another McLaren. That's the Gamesman Racing Team McLaren of Kamango though. So let's see if it's going to be Bentley versus McLaren as they come through Curvone, turn 11. Yeah, so not quite enough, but I don't mind that livery as well. The black and the green for Bruce Hara Racing. A lot more flexibility given to the drivers this season, so you can have a bit more of your personal flavour, if you like, in the livery, so they don't need to all be the same. And I have some absolutely devastating news to report. Jono Stan is out.
Oh no.
A fan favourite. One of my personal favourites, I'm not going to lie. He's out. So, yes, Cameron Footner, R.I.P. Jono. All of that golfing practice. See about it. You had to do some more golfing now, perhaps, Jono. So he's out. Though we've lost two. So Cheese Noodles and Jono. That's really unfortunate. So, that's terrible news. But
it is terrible.
That's sim racing, though, unfortunately.
It is, and the boys who are going to make the most of that. Bounty's in the pit lane. Yep. He's just pulled up in the box. Mr. Wilson. Shout out to the Mr. Wilson.
Look at that.
He's been due for a good result for a long time now.
He has,
and
yes.
It's looking really good for Nate in the Lambo. Oh, very, very quick stop from Bounty.
Ooh.
Very quick stop. So that's, we'll see. Angry's coming through the last corner. This is going to be close between Angry and Bounty.
There's Bounty. So here he comes. Here's Angry. So I think Angry's just going to get him. We can see Bounty. There we go. He just gets him.
Just. Wow. So that's exactly what Bounty didn't want.
Yeah.
A nice, perfectly executed pit stop. And he's come out just behind Angry. But the Merc looks...
He's gone right over those sausage curbs there through turn 6.
He's done well.
Yeah, so he's done well. Considering that those tyres would be nowhere near up to pressure, he's just come out of the pits. He's done very well to keep a hold of that. But as we hit the halfway mark of this one, the driver on screen, Angry Old Fella, he went the early pit stop, and it looks to be paying off right now. He's up there in P5. The 4 other drivers ahead of him, all yet to pit. That's Andrali, Mr. N. Wilson, Gazza, and Andy. So he is in the absolute optimum position right now as we see another driver coming into the pits. That's Riggsy. So he's pitting in from P15. Get back to the Bounty versus Angry Old Fella scrap there, but we might just have a look first at Pat versus Kamangu. So we'll do a little state of the race though while we're here. So Andrali, Mr. N, Wilson, Gaza, Andy. And you got Angry, Bounty, Pesky, Fly, Metal Steel, and Hagman up there in P10. So he's had a decent recovery there, Haggis. Currently sitting in P10. Now, have a look at this little trio of cars. So this is Pat, Kamangu, and Haggis. This is for P10, 11, and 12 on the circuit.
Hagman's had enough.
Oh, he's pitted. I thought you meant he was sort of just get out and quit. All right, so he's coming into the pits. That'll be his second stop. So he's all done. And you reckon he went light on the first stop there, Nige? But
I didn't see. No, I didn't see Hagman's first stop.
Oh, has he botched that?
He has botched it.
Yeah. All right, the learning of the Hagman continues. In the meantime, the racing still continues. All right, so let's have a look here at Andrali. Where are you, Andrali? He is car number 379. So he is currently... Oh, there he is. He is coming out of turn 5 out through turn 6. So that's where he is. Mr. N. Wilson, he's not too far behind. So he's just coming through Rio, which is turn 4. And then Gaza, he's not far behind Mr. N. Wilson either. So those two are really close to one another. And then Andy in the... we haven't really spoken too much about Andy tonight, have we? Sort of...
No.
Been a bit of a silent achiever.
Yeah, there's a lot of boys that are actually really stepping up. Obviously, Nate, P6 at the end of qualifying. He's looking great. Gaz up to P3 and Andy. So, yes, BHR boys, P2, 3 and 4 as we speak. We all know that Gaz loves to run long. He'll be the last one to finish his compulsory stops. And Mango into the pits as well. But Pesky did get past Fly, so we'll see how much race pace Pesky's got. And 26 and a half minutes to go.
Yeah, so we're on the other side, on the second half of this one. But yeah, what I was trying to work out was Angry Old Fella. Where is he in conjunction compared to Andrali? That's the big question. I think that's Riggsy. Might be being lapped there. Possibly. I think it might be. I think it is. Yeah, he's the only Lexus in there. All right, so let's just get back to that. So Andrali, he's just coming out of turn 6. So I was saying, Mr. N. Wilson, he's not far behind. Here he is coming through turn 4. And then Gaza, he is not far behind him. He can actually physically see him right now on the circuit. So the carrot is literally dangling in his face right now. But then it's Andy. So he started in P18, Nige.
Yep, and he's in the pit lane. So is Shamrock. So this is Andy's first stop. He's crept it into the box.
And that means...
Engine.
Sorry, yeah, keep on going, Nige. Sorry, my mistake.
Oh, no, I was just going to call it, engine off and stationary time, bit of thumb twiddling, and he's away.
All right.
Go, go, go.
He's all done. Where's he going to come out? Andy. We've got 154. That's Pat. So he's going to take him for position there. So Andy will drop down to about P10. And I think Aaron is coming into the pit. Oh, he just nudges the wall. We saw that a couple of times last week. A couple of drivers do that. Very easy mistake to make coming in there because the pit limiter line isn't for some time after that corner. So you're trying to gain as much time as you possibly can as you're coming through there, which can cause mistakes. Kamangu and Haggis, so they've both completed their mandatory stops. So they are now down in P13 and P14. And yeah, they're looking all right at the moment. Don't know how much higher they're going to get up there because they've got other drivers. Get to pit one more time. It's Hagman. Just pulling out from behind Kamangu. Took his going to get that done. He does. Nice and easily in the end. One's a little bit deep. Not deep enough, though, for Kamangu to fight back. So, Haggis for ICR. In that Bentley, he's taken that position back. As we're just under 24 minutes remaining in this one. As Pesky, he makes his second stop. So this was one of the other drivers, him and Angry, who made the early stop. Just trying to see where he might end up filtering out. So he's got Metal Steel. He's coming through. Pat is about to come through as well. So there's Pat. 416 is Shamrock, so he's being lapped. The other one is going to be Andy. So he'll lose a spot to Andy. And then probably 511 as well, which is Sparky. He might be pushing it here. So it's going to be pretty close between Pesky and Sparky.
I'd say Sparky's got him easily. Yeah.
There we go. So he's all done. So he's lost another position. So it looks like Pesky is going to come out about P11 from that stop. Mr. N. Wilson, he's making his stop. So this will be his first stop of the race in that BHR Lamborghini. Now, where's Angry Old Fella? Here he comes now. So he's going to, he will get past Mr. N. Wilson. We'll see how far he drops down. And that means that Andrali and Gaza will be the final two drivers. As Angry, he makes a stop. This is actually not a bad call. I don't know if he hit the wall there. That's actually not a bad call, Nige. I reckon that could be... That could have big repercussions towards the end as Fly, he comes around to retake that position. And Mr. Ed Wilson, he's on his way out now.
So
he's going to lose a position.
He is, you're right, but I just cut to Mr. Wilson at the end of his stop, and it looked like he was coming down off the jack, so I've got a suspicion that he might have taken tyres, which is interesting with 22 minutes to go. He might have just felt that there was a little bit too much tyre wear and a nice confidence booster, but once it plays out, the timing, and we'll see exactly where he is, but incredibly, Sparky, I'm not sure where it's filtered out. So Pesky ended up behind Sparky, and Angry is just going to come out ahead of Sparky. Right, okay, so Sparky's going to be net P2 of the boys who have finished their stops. Pat is in the pit lane. He's exiting pit lane now, but it's still on. I'd say Andrelli's home and hose, but it's going to be very, very interesting once all the strategies play out.
Well, we've got two drivers that are yet to stop, Andrali and Gaza. As you pointed out, Gaza likes to go long, Nige. And then we've still got Bounty, Fly, Mr. N. Wilson, Metal Steel, and Andy. They're all yet to make their second stop. So Andrali is definitely going long, and Sparky, he's a bit of a dark horse here right now. He's in P9, made both of his stops. He's got Andy ahead of him by 3.6 seconds, so he's going to prove to be a non-factor. He'll take that position straight away. So Angry and Sparky have worked this strategy out to perfection. Sparky, considering he started down there in... Where did you start, Sparky? He started P15. So he's had a good race. And here comes... So Bounty's just ducking out of the pits now.
Yep.
Well, Mr. N. Wilson, he's able to get through. Metal Steel has as well. What about Angry Old Fella? Here we go. So Bounty just coming out. There's Angry. I think Angry's going to pip him.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. Sorry. He does. I think he just does. Yep.
Bounty's ahead.
Oh, no, he doesn't. I went to the wrong person at the wrong time, Nige. I stuffed it up. Anyway.
All good, mate. That's why I'm here. Keep you honest.
All right. So he's got a Ferrari in between. Bounty's got a Ferrari in between him and Angry Old Fella. That belongs to Shamrock from Selby Acoustics Racing. So he's currently P17. So that's a lapped car. So he'll get the blue flags, which will allow Angry Old Fella to get through. But yeah, this is going to be intriguing between Bounty and Angry Old Fella. They've been tied together for a lot of this race, a lot of the second half of this one. So they're going to fight it out till the end between those two. And we're still just waiting on Andrali and Gaza. When are they going to make their first stop of the evening? We'll have to wait and see, and then fly Mr. and Wilson and Metal Steel, as well as Andy.
Andrew.
Go.
Sorry, dude. Andrali lapping 35.6, 35.6, 35.6, 35.6, and he's just come up behind Andy.
Yep.
Now, this is interesting because Andy's made one of his stops, but Andrali hasn't made any, but he will be getting blue flags about now.
He's getting
Andy's
out of the way.
pulling in. Yep. Oh, no.
Go.
Just out of the way. Didn't come into the pit lane, so that worked out well for Andrali, and I presume that's
Sparky.
Sparky.
That's for position. That's for position between those two. So Sparky's just able to slip through there past Andy from BHR.
Yeah, so Andy's smart enough to know that he's not racing Sparky.
Yeah.
But he was very generous. He didn't have to get out of the way like that. They were racing for the position, as you said. But I'm really impressed with Sparky's race so far. He's been very consistent.
Yep.
But 35.6 and
that's Bounty, I think.
Yep.
That was huge. He's come unstuck at turn 6.
And there was an SAR car off a little bit further down the track as well.
Yeah. Oh, no. So that's Bounty's race done. That's perfect for Angry Old Fella, though. He's able to take that position without any sort of fight with Bounty. He's able to move up into P6 now. But that's big damage for that ICR Mercedes driver. And I say that's going to be his race done. He'll come into the pits. So that's going to be a fair while to fix that. We saw that with Psycho as well, and that kind of ruined his race. And unfortunately for Bounty, it's not the best time with 17 minutes to go to have an incident like that. That's a lot of damage, unfortunately, for him. So the man who does all the stats would give his website a plug. If anyone knows what it is, put it in the chat. But yeah, that's going to be his race kind of over and done with. All right.
Yeah, he'll be supremely disappointed with himself on that. I have managed to save the replay. I'm not sure if he got tangled up with someone, but if he had run wide, we saw him do that same part of the track. So it is one of the danger spots, that exit of turn 6.
Yeah, those sausage curbs on the side.
That's it.
All right.
So shout out to Bounty and his website for all the scoring, and obviously going a little bit more detailed once he gets everything uploaded that he wants to. Thepodium.racing is where it's at.
Thepodium.racing. I'll put it in there. Thepodium.racing. There we go. Done. All right. So Andy's in the pits and he's out already. So he'll duck out. Now this man here, Angry Old Fella. Stop go penalty for Andy. Easy to do there as well, because you can just flick the pit limiter button, whichever you've got it programmed to, a little bit early, and that looks like what he might have done. So unfortunately for him, that's going to put a big dent in his race. But there's these two P&L drivers, Angry Old Fella and Pesky, P6 and P8. They're doing very well considering their early pit stops. Looks like, I think Andrali's pitting. He hit the wall as well.
Oh, ouch.
So he's making his start. Gaza, this is him on screen. So he will come through. Where is Fly? So the next one will be Fly and Mr. Wilson. So I don't think they're going to have enough to get past. So there we go. So Gaza, he comes into the lead. And we've got a 555 in there. Bounty, yeah, he's still in there, obviously, after his big incident. And this is Fly, so he's in P3 right now. And Andrali, off he goes. He's all done. So he'll come out in P2. And it'll be Fly will remain in P3. So he's not going to challenge the Gamesman Racing Team Ferrari right now. And he's going to continue on. So nice work from him to get that gap there. And then there was one. It was one driver who's yet to make a stop, which is Gaz. Noticeably, he had a little bit of damage on the front of the car there, Nige, and I don't think that stop was really long. And oh, Haggis absolutely sends it. Whew. And that's cost him a bit there. I'm not too sure what he was thinking, but he certainly licked the stamp and he sent it there and got it a little bit wrong at turn 8, which is Quercia, however you pronounce it. Yeah, so he's in a bit of a hurry to get past Pat, and that's brought him undone, unfortunately. But yeah, Andrali didn't look like he fixed any of his damage that he might have had. He's got a bit of cosmetic damage there. So I'm not too sure what the deal was with that, but yeah, hopefully that doesn't have an effect on him as we see the McLaren getting well out of the way. That was one of the Gamesman team racing McLarens. Might have been Kamangu, I believe. They're very good friends. And the stop go is being cleared by Andy, so Mr. N. Wilson, did something happen to him? I don't believe so. No, he's only 8.6. Yeah.
Just had his first stop, and I can't confirm 100%, but maybe with a long stop for fuel and or tyres. But no, Nate was running around doing 35s, so he is actually looking good. Some for a strong result.
Yeah, the ICR Lamborghini Sparky is the meat in the sandwich here between Angry Old Fella and Pesky from P&L. They're in Angry's P5, Sparky's P6, and Pesky's P7. So these guys are going to battle it out right until the end. We have 12 minutes remaining. This is Season 5, Round 1 of the Pro-Am division at RaceOnOz. Hope you've been enjoying the stream. I've enjoyed the race. I don't know about you, Nige. I reckon you probably have as well. Hope all our viewers have enjoyed the race as well. Don't forget, hit the like and subscribe. We got over 100 subscribers. Fantastic effort. We want to grow the channel as much as we can, and we need your help. So plenty of content coming your way. If you saw the earlier part of the stream, we've got some new additions. We've got MVP voting, Driver of the Day, Rookie of the Season, Overtake of the season. That's going to be fun to watch that as the nominations come through, Nige, and you're going to let everyone know in the Discord as well about that too. So plenty to keep you all entertained. There's race highlights that are coming out every week from Andrali, our race leader. So not only does he drive, but he also does a lot of the videos as well as Kamangu as well. Sorry, Kamangu does a lot of the videos. All right, that's the sales pitch. Let's get to the racing.
Nate is in. Wilson in the pits.
Here we go. Just keep an eye on him. Pesky and Sparky God, they're going at it right now. But Mr.
They
N.
are
Wilson,
too.
yeah, Mr. N. Wilson in the pits. This man here, Angry Old Fella, he's going to make his way through. And so are these two. They're going to come with him as well. So Mr. N. Wilson still stationary. I dare say he will probably drop out around about P8. Just having a look for Metal Steel. Ooh, depends on how long this stop is going to be. But
he's underway.
okay. Metal Steel is just coming to the end of the lap now. He's about to come through the final turn. Here he comes. This
Gaz is in. Finally.
This could be close. We'll get back to Gaz in a moment. I went to the wrong one again. There we go. Mr. N. Wilson is underway. So Metal Steel wasn't able to get him. Mr. N. Wilson's going to come out in P7. And as Nige alluded to, Gaz has finally stopped. And Andrali is going to come through now. So he will take the lead. 499 fly. So this is going to be interesting between him and Gaz. So here he comes up the front straight. This is Gaz just getting going. Here he comes Fly.
Yeah, this is going to be close. Yep. Good call.
Yeah. And he's got him. So Fly has gotten past So Gaz is going to drop down into P3. Now having a look at Angry Old Fella, he's just about to come through Caro, which is the wagon corner, I think they call it. Yeah, he's... Oh, Fly, was he... I don't know if he made a little mistake there. But yeah, to get the podium, Angry Old Fella has 8 minutes and 40 seconds. He's currently just crossing the line now. And Gaza is making his way up just opposite on the other side of the track there. So he's got a fair bit of ground to make up to get himself onto the podium. But in the meantime, though, Sparky God and Pesky.
Yeah, Pesky got him.
Yeah, Pesky managed to
on
get
the last
past.
lap.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't see it, but that's good for Pesky. Bad for Sparky.
I'm going to put my hand up, Nige. I'm going to put my hand up here, and I'm going to say I thought Pesky got it wrong. And I thought maybe Angry Old Fella got it wrong as well. But they've clearly proven me wrong. I'm happy to be proven wrong. Great strategy call from these guys with the early pit stops.
Andrelli into the wall on the pit entry once more. So we'll see what that does to his rocket ship. I'm going to keep an eye on him.
Have a look at
and
the
see how
damage
long
on
this
that thing.
station-
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
that's
a big
beat
hit.
up. That is
It was a
really
big hit.
beat up. So Fly goes through. So does Gaza. And Angry Old Fella, he's just coming around through to turn 12 and 13 now. So, and Andrali's still stationary. Is he gonna? He's off. He's on his way now.
16 seconds.
Did he repair that car at all? It doesn't sound like it. It was only 16 seconds. He's coming out now, and here comes. This is Angry coming around the final turn. This could be close, Nige. This could be. Oh, this could be close.
I'm going to say Andrelli.
Oh, I'm going to say Angry Old Fella's going to get this.
Pit limiter.
I reckon, oh, no, it's Angry's just out behind him. So look at that, he can see him. Angry Old Fella can see him. Both these cars have pitted. It's going to be 6 minutes and 40 seconds left for Angry Old Fella to try and get past that Gamesman Racing Team Ferrari. And this has been the ultimate strategy call from P&L tonight. P4, P5, they could still get on the podium here. Gazza and Fly are up ahead, but they still need to make one more stop. Angry Old Fella could win this thing. Look at the damage on that Ferrari. If that's going to affect his handling, this could spell trouble for Andrali, who's led pretty much this entire race. He started in P1, and Pesky's going to try and have his say in this as well. So 6 minutes left. And this one is not decided yet by any stretch of the imagination. We've got Fly and Gaza still yet to pit. So this man here, Andrali, would be the net leader. But that Ferrari is looking a lot worse for wear. Oh, look at that. He runs a little bit wide. Is he having...
wide.
Yeah, he might be having handling issues.
Well, there's only 8 seconds from Andrelli all the way back to Sparky in P6. So... yeah, going to be a hairy last 6 minutes for these boys.
Yeah, I don't think it can go fast enough for Andrali right now. And don't rule out Pesky as well. He's been charging up through the field too. So he's on a roll. But this is a cracking result for P&L right now. It's up to Andrali. Can he keep these boys behind him? Or has he made one mistake too many coming into that into the pit area? Just hitting the wall a little bit too hard. See him coming through turn 6 now. And we can see the Bentley's looming large in the background. 5 minutes remaining. Whew, this is a good finish, Nige. This is almost as good as last week.
Totally. And big shout out to Fly. He's got a handy 4-second lead over Gaz, who we know was running P2, so that means that Fly had a huge amount of fuel on board at the beginning, so he's executed his race very well through the last corner.
Gaz is pitting.
Let's see what this lap time... Gaz is in?
Yeah.
Okay, so 36.5 that time from Fly, and his fastest is a 35.3.
Alright, here we go. So Andrali is going to be the next one. Just while you work that out, Nige, we'll keep an eye on the action here Just coming around through Caro now. So Gaza still stationary. That means
He's underway. So that was quick from Gaz, but he's definitely going to lose out to, I think, all these boys.
Yeah, not going to be...
Even maybe not Sparky. Sparky through the last corner. Yeah, it's going to be close between...
Drolly goes through.
Yeah.
Angry goes through. Pesky's going to go through.
Sparky's going to get him as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Sparky goes through. Yeah, so he's lost a few there, Stu. No, Gaza, sorry. Gaza, my mistake. BHR, but two different drivers. All right, so he'll drop down behind Sparky in P6, I do believe. Yeah, 5'11", 111. Yeah, he comes out at P6.
Now it just comes down to Fly. Fly could ruin the party for these P&L boys. I'd say Andrelli's going to be home and hosed, but a really nice quick pit stop from Fly, and it'd be good to do. Good to see.
Here he goes. Here he goes. He's coming in. This is the pressure start. He gets it right. Doesn't clout the wall, as we've seen a couple of times tonight. Nice and smooth. Hits the limiter. So here we go. The pressure is on. This is Andrali, and look at this. Pesky is looking to put a move on his teammate as well. So we've got plenty of action left in this one right here as they make their way through 13. Coming up to 14. Fly, he's still stationary. So Andrali's going to slip through here. And Pesky's all over the back of Angry. Oh, Angry gets a little bit loose. Coming out of 15 out of Misano. Fly, still stationary. Oh, no, he's on his way now.
Yeah.
And Andrali's going to go through. Angry and Pesky going to go through as well.
Boys? Yep. And I'd say Sparky will as well.
Yep. Maybe Gaz. Maybe.
Oh, Sparky ahead. This is going to be close. No. Fly holds on. Fly ahead of Sparky.
Okay. So, oh yeah, there we see it there. So Sparky just there. All right. So Andrali, you have less than 2 minutes to survive to take home victory. This would be a phenomenal effort from him. He's got Angry Old Fella hunting him down, and Pesky won. His P&L teammate not too far behind him. So this is a great result for P&L. The early pit stop has worked. Hasn't worked enough, though, because they've got Andrali, who's been pretty much unbeatable tonight. He's put it on pole position. He's led very strong throughout the whole entire race. Angry Old Fella, just the rear end of that, just stepping out a little bit. So the podium, I'd say, still not quite decided yet. And we see Fly in fourth, followed by Sparky, and then Gaza is here as well, down there in P6. So the top six still extremely close on the circuit, but we've got less than a minute left. And where are you, Andrali? He'll get the message from Klaus, and we'll tell him this will be the final lap. So he'll have one more lap of the 4.26 kilometre Misano circuit, 16 turns in all, to bring home victory for Gamesman Racing Team. Can he do it? He's going to have Angry Old Fella and Pesky one pushing him all the way. But that Ferrari, whew, it's been in the wars. Have a look at it. It's got plenty of war wounds and scars all over it, but I think that just might make it a little bit more sweeter tonight for him as he makes his way through 5, now through 6, stays away from those sausage curbs. Looks like Angry might have Pesky covered here by the looks of it. Yeah. So unless Angry makes a pretty big mistake, I don't think Pesky's going to manage to get up on that second step of the podium. But this man on screen, he's looking good for P1. Pole position, as I've mentioned. Gamesman Racing Team. Gamesman Racing Team had driver of the day in the Pro Series. It was Burrow Dog. We see Andrali get second Gamesman Racing Team driver of the day. We'll have to wait until next week. Stay tuned. Good reason to tune in next week. But Andrali just coming through 13, 14 now. He's driven a great race. Been a very, very strong result for him. Put it on pole position. Great way to start the season. as the Gamesman Racing Team Ferrari comes around the final turn. Andrali, the man who does the graphics every week in, week out, he's going to take victory in Season 5, Round 1 for the Pro-Am. Congratulations to him. Angry Old Fella and Pesky both pushing each other to the very end. They take P2, P3, Fly in a very well-deserved P4. Sparky God, whew, he had a good race up there in P5. Well done to him. Gaza in P6, good job from him. Mr. N. Wilson, he's had a very strong result. I think that'd be what he would be after to start the season. Metal Steel follows him very closely. Pat, he's going to come under attack from Haggis for the final turn. Don't think the Hagman can get past him. He's going to finish P10 just behind Pat in P9. Well done to him for BHR. And then we've got Aaron in the Selby Acoustics McLaren. He's got the Ferrari of his teammate in front of him, Shamrock, who's down there in P16. So that'll effectively be his race over. Makes his way through the final turn. Crosses the line. And then Kamangu as well, good friend of Andrali and teammate. Those two will be very happy this evening. And then Riggsy will be the last driver, I think, on the lead lap. Oh, Psycho, we didn't see too much after his big incident early on. So bringing it home for the Jag. But it is Andrali. He is the man who's taken home victory tonight. Massive congratulations to him. And good job to the rest of the boys. So just to confirm, it was Andrali, Angry Old Fella, and Pesky 1 is our top 3. Let me just write that down. Pesky came home in P3 and then Angry in P2. Oh, all right, Nige.
That was a ripper.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Was.
Yep.
That was just what we were expecting, where there were a lot of boys in contention. Of course, it wasn't always obvious. Kudos to the PNL boys, P2 and 3. They did really well after I basically wrote them off for getting the strat wrong, but it proves what I know. So
well, that makes 2 of us. That makes 2 of us, Nigel. I was in agreement with you there as well.
Yeah, it's a great result for those boys, but Andrelli with the win in Pro-Am, and that is a fantastic result. So I've got the PNL boys. I've just sent out the invites to them.
Yep.
Well,
we're
going to have to locate Andrelli.
We'll just recap the top 10 before we get those guys on the line. So it's Andrali, Angry Old Fellow, Pesky. That's our podium. Fly, Sparky Guide, Gaza, Mr. N. Wilson, Metal Steel, Pat, and Haggis. That is our top 10. We did lose Jono Stan and Cheese Noodles along the way as well. So those guys finished down there P18, 19. But great racing from everyone tonight. The Pro-Am series has kicked off with a bang. We are just going to wait for for Nige to get the boys on the line, so we can have a quick chat to them and find out their thoughts on the race. I'd be very keen to speak to Pesky and Angry as well about the early stops and Andrali hitting the pit wall as well a couple of times. So he might be a little bit sweaty right now after the end of that one. So,
Green light, show them what you got.
How we going, Nige?
The invites for Pesky and Angry have gone.
Angry.
Here we go. So, well, we might start with you, Angry, if you're first on the line.
Just need to towel off, I think.
Well, I think
Nice.
I don't think you'd be Robinson and Caruso with that one, mate. It might be a few of yous in that spot tonight. But well done, mate. Started P4, came home P2. Walk us through the race. The early strategy. What was the thinking behind it tonight?
So it was interesting. Pesky and I were both actually faster than Andrelli, and we're all over the back of him. And we actually spoke before the race that if that happened, we were going to pit early. So I actually waited for him to pit because he was in front.
Yep.
And he didn't. I went, okay, I'll go in then. So, and that was enough to sort of get me out in a half decent spot. And then I didn't rip out fast laps for the whole race, but just was really consistent, sort of mid 35s and no mistakes. I think I made a couple of mistakes near the end there, but my front my my front left was at 28.9 on the last 3 laps.
Oh wow. Okay.
So she was causing a few problems.
Yeah.
And but other than that, yeah, just nice and consistent. And then again, sort of when that second pit stop again was going a bit early because it was just getting caught behind people, and
Yeah.
I was tempted when I got caught behind Riggsy for a while to
Yep.
take another early one. I really struggled to get past him. He was bloody quick, but I must say it was a champagne move to get past him. I love that one.
Did you, Phil? Well, hey, if you've recorded your race, submit it for overtake of the season. That's something that we're running this season. So,
I think you got it on the stream.
oh, okay, all right. Well, submit it nonetheless.
Yep.
So, did you see what happened to Bounty? Because you seem to have
Yes,
were
I did.
battling it out with him.
So he undercut me in the pits. I still don't know how he did it. He must have had a really 1 litre because I think I put 15 in my second stop.
Yeah.
So he must have put in just a litre and come out. So he undercut me. So as he come out, it was fine. But then I think as he accelerated onto the back straight, I think he's put a wheel over onto one of the sausages.
Yep.
And it's just given him a bit of a tank slapper, and he's just basically gone head on straight into the wall.
Yeah.
So I think I might have rubbed my hands with glee at that stage, but I don't like to upset other drivers. But he had a good strategy there, and he got out in front. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have chased him down at that stage.
I think it was
kill him.
Yeah, it was looking like it was going to be a good battle between the
Yeah.
two of you there towards the end before his accident. And just what were your thoughts about battling Pesky? He was charging pretty hard there at the end
was.
there, keeping you honest.
I knew he was. So yeah, we're obviously the same team. We just didn't want to do anything silly. I think I made a couple of times going onto that back straight with that left front tyre, just pushing through. I went a bit deep, and he sort of just snuck up the inside to have a look. But the reality is, if he put a move on, we wouldn't have crashed.
Yeah.
It's just so important for the team to pick up some good points at the start of the season. So.
Yeah. Well, mate, great start to the season. Started
Yeah,
P4, came home P2. Great race from you, Tyke. Great driving. And good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, boys.
Cheers, mate.
Good stream. I'll go and watch it now.
Beautiful. Don't forget.
Well done, mate.
Hit the like button as well. All right. Who else? Who else do we have on the line, Nige? Do we? I think
Andrelli. Yeah,
we have the
good to
winner.
go.
Congratulations, mate. You put it on pole. You're looking very commanding there early on. You're under a little bit of pressure from those P&L boys. But firstly, bloody congratulations, mate. Is that your first victory in Pro-Am?
Oh, that's my first in Pro-Am, my second since I've been in Ruse. I won my very first race in Am and then done nothing since.
Mate, well, it's been
That was Zolder, wasn't it, dude?
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Oh, you got a good memory.
Nigel's the Ruse encyclopedia, as I like to keep referring to him as. So, mate, second win in Ruse. Congratulations. Walk us through his pole position. How'd you struggled with the Armco on the pit stops tonight, mate? What was the deal with that?
Oh, I was pushing the switch off, and then I wasn't holding it long enough, and then I was like, panicking. And then, that was just another pit stop drama, but I came through.
Yeah. And so you went pretty long on your first stop as well. What was your thinking behind that?
Just because of what happened in the Pro, I set my temps to be pretty much be perfect around the 40-minute mark, the 22 degrees, and then because it only goes up by 3 degrees there.
Yeah.
So I started with 80 litres because I was at the front, and then because I had low pressures, and then Pesky was on my rear, and just not used to being out front, and got a bit nervous. And then he took me, but I was as soon as he went into pits, and then Angry went into pits, and then I could just breathe and just went back to my practicing, and
that was a real gift for you. That them coming in and pitting early. That put you in fresh air, and were you able to just get your rhythm after that, and like you said, put your practice into action?
Yeah, I had pretty much had no traffic, but I knew because they pitted, they would have. It's not a very easy track to overtake.
Yeah.
Because that's why when Pesky was challenging me, I was just putting my car wide, so he would struggle to overtake me. Yeah, and I knew as soon as those two pitted that they'd have the same challenge.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Well, mate, congratulations. I know it's not. You weren't racing your good mate Kamangu like you were the video that you were showing us the other day back in your army days, but I'm sure it still gave you a bit of a thrill. And yeah, awesome to see, mate. Great start to the season. Put it on pole. Take home P1. Looked great all night. Congratulations, and we move on to Budapest in a couple of weeks.
Yes, looking forward to it, and looking forward to hopefully a few votes tonight.
We'll see. We'll see. You'll find out. You'll find out in about 8 weeks, mate. But congratulations. Awesome work.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
totally,
Thanks, mate.
Good stuff.
See ya. All right. So, did Pesky end up getting into the party, Nige?
No, we
Okay.
didn't. I got the invite out, but Pesky hasn't shown up yet. So, Pesky, if you're out there and you want to have a chat, jump into the party, dude. But there are some very, very happy boys behind the scene. And I think Burra, his night started off good and it just got better and better.
Yeah. Well, our first ever driver of the day. But yeah, these boys in the ProAm put on a great race tonight, Nige. What were your reflections on the race?
I'm going to have to go back and have a look at a few of the replays, mate, because there was a lot of action. There was a bit of ugliness at the very beginning, which we'll need to sort through. But there was some real standout drives and a bunch of guys getting the strategy really, really good. So it, like we expected, it's going to be very close. And, we probably might have 5 different winners in Pro-Am, but... I'm tipping Andrelli now to run with it. He's obviously very comfortable with the Ferrari, having switched from the Audi, so he might go on and get a few more big W's this season.
Yeah, it was. He's in some fine form. He started off the season perfectly, and P&L once again they just got pipped at the end in the championship, the teams championship last season. So they'll want to try and make up for that, and they've started the season off fantastic. So all the drivers tonight, we had a little bit of mayhem at the beginning, but I thought it was a great race from everyone. It was awesome to commentate, and I hope you, the viewers, all the people out there. I see Cameron Footnow, you've been in the chat a lot tonight. JJ been in there, Vic's been in there, Burra Dog's in there. It sounds like he's very happy right now. Burra, it looks like everyone's pretty happy for Andrelli as well. Bruce is in there congratulating him. Wheezy Weston was in there as well. So thank you everyone for your input tonight. It's been much appreciated. I hope you all enjoyed what you watched tonight as well. So as I mentioned right at the very beginning, we've got a few things that we've added this season in particular. Specifically around the driver of the day and the MVP. Now, if you've got an overtake from last week, I'm talking to all you pro drivers out there. If you stream your race and you got an overtake that you think is worthy of overtake of the year, send it in. Nige is going to set up the channel in the Discord. We're expecting a lot of what do we call input? Nominations is the word I'm looking for. It's close to my bedtime. Anyway, so we are going to be back and we're going to do it all again next week, but we are going to be at the Hungaroring and it is going to be wet. So it's going to be the annual wet race, and I don't envy anyone driving around the wet in the Hungaroring. So stay tuned. It's going to be the pro race next week. It will be the same time. 8:05, the stream will start on Tuesday night on the Ruse channel. Thank you for everyone watching tonight. Nige, once again, absolute pleasure, mate. And we'll do it all again next week. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.